It's Adaire Palmer here again today for Community TV with Adaire. TV for you by TV for me. And this is where I talk to people in the community who are doing amazing things to add value to the lives of people around them. It could be meditation, a yoga class, it could be learning to cook, reading tarot cards or healing, physical fitness, gardening, or even skincare. It's whatever you're interested in for your life, it's going to be covered here. So join me and my special guests as we explore information and ideas that will help you lead a fuller, more happier and more productive life. Today, I would love to introduce to you Glasson, and she is from Garden Gypsy. Now, she's given me a bit of a bio to share with you, and then I'll bring her on and let her share her own story. But this is sort of her why. She says, in a world filled with synthetic materials, endless supplies of chemical medicines, and science meets technology, it seems that humans are being drawn away from humanity. Not only are we being drawn away from each other, but we're also being drawn away from nature. And people expect modern medicine and technology to save them. Nature has been set aside. Now, I couldn't agree more with that. We cannot heal the whole world, but our aim is to provide the global market with affordable natural solutions and effective remedies that to both common and unusual or rare skin complaints. Now, they use aqueous, you have to correct me on that when you come on, solutions incorporating extra virgin olive oil combined with other natural ingredients such as essential oils, extracts, salts, butters, waxes in their formulations. And they believe that because humans are part of nature, then nature will have the right remedies for us. That's brilliant. Where do we find them? Now, I'm going to... I'll just finish this off. Every leaf, every petal, every twig has hidden secrets for medicine. Our philosophy, which is the philosophy of Garden Gypsy, the wisdom of ancient aromatherapy for healing by nature. That's brilliant. Welcome, C. How are you?
Hi, Adaire. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here on the show. And you're only just down the hill. You're only, there's like maybe 15 Ks from here. So, so a true local in your backyard. Here we are connecting for the very first time using the awesome technology. I know you said technology and modern medicine. People expect to have a pill for an instant cure. And actually, I know I did have a bit of a mentality like that myself for a long time until I've discovered that there was actually better ways of doing things and more natural ways of getting the same effect or the same outcome without killing yourself or the environment in the process. But before I ask you about yourself, I see we've got a couple of people join us. Love to see as many people as possible pop in and say hi. Don't be scared to just pop your hand up and say, hi, I'm here. I'd love to know where you're from as well, because we do get a global audience from people who do join us. So just let us know where you're from and who you are, because that's really cool. Love to have, it's a real building community type thing. If you have any questions for C or myself as we go through this next half hour, please ask them and we will respond as best we can. So, C, just would love to know from in your words, a little bit about you and how you came to be doing such a fantastic thing that's adding so much value to the world, our planet, and to people.
I've always been interested in natural remedies ever since I was a kid, but about 10 or 12 years ago, my mum actually bought a property with an olive plantation of over 600 olive trees, and we were having a bit of a discussion about what we could use the olive oil for, and she turned around and said to me, she said, you should make some skincare with olive oil. Olive oil is brilliant. I thought, yeah, I should. I said, well, what would I make? And she said, oh, at the time, she had really terrible crack split fingers. So she said, make me something for my crack split fingers. And I did. and basically everything's gone from there. She's obviously, I made a product for her that worked brilliant for her split fingers and worked for a lot of other people. So I just went from there, and I've got I've got background in aromatherapy. Believe it or not, I actually have a background in social work too, studying herbal medicine, because I've worked in pharmacy as well, and unfortunately the one thing that I noticed in pharmacy, which really drives me nuts, is anytime anyone goes in with an issue, that with a skincare issue, they're just automatic to give you a steroid-based cream. And
Yes.
I'm pretty sure most people can relate to that, because
Yes.
almost every single time you go in, you get a steroid-based cream.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to fill the market with natural-based creams, especially with olive oil, because olive oil is so good for your skin, and help people that way. Because, I mean, even though steroid-based creams are okay in the short term, they're really not a very good thing for the long term.
Well, I know when I had a pretty bad skin condition, and I was given steroid creams as well, and I think they had to, the only way I could actually get them off my skin was to use paraffin oil, which was it was pretty drastic. So it would have been nice to know that but they, like you said, in the pharmacy or even in the dermatologist, they tend to prescribe mainstream treatments for things where and that's where we're directed to go. And I know that there's probably not a conversation for right now, but big pharma have big pharma have a huge hand in what actually gets prescribed, and I do believe that not a lot of it is in our best interests, and that's not the fault of the pharmacists or the doctors, but I think it is the system that sort of contains us. Just want to ask, when you said your mum had an olive grove with 600 trees, did you actually did they buy as a commercial concern and press the? So they just did because it was like cool, and that's
they liked the property to build a house.
Okay.
And so that's where they've got their house. But they thought, oh, wow, we're going to do this whole olive oil thing. And, it's a nightmare. Olive picking season is in the middle of winter. So you're out in the rain, and you've got your waterproofs on, and you're freezing to death, trying to pick all the olives off the tree, because they're all hand-picked as well.
Yeah.
And I go out there and help her out pick it each year. So definitely know how to get your hands dirty.
Yeah. So they've got presses, olive presses, and that type of thing as well.
They outsource that part. They outsource all the olive pressing. Yeah, but it is cold pressed. So you get all the benefits of the extra virgin olive oil, and it's actually got about 0.8% acidity, so it's really, really good for your skin.
So that's a great little segue into the next question, which was about Garden Gypsy. I'm really interested in how you came up with the name for that, and also that, like, we know where you source your olive oil. Do you use other olive oil as well, or is it purely just from your mum's?
Yeah, from the Adelaide Hills, definitely.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah,
that is
so it's all local.
Beautiful. What a beautiful story. And just as an aside, we actually found out that I went to school with your cousin, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how small is Adelaide, really? So
it's so small. Yeah, 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it's like more like 1.5. So shout out to Shirley if you're watching.
Yeah.
If not, you should be. So, Karen and Peter and Paul and all the shit. So so that's really cool. So just share a little bit about how you came up with the name and some of how the products were made, and the other materials as well that you need to source. So just share a bit about that. Yeah.
The name is a bit of a long story, but basically I sort of first began by using oils and herbs and everything that you would normally get in your garden. So things like rosemary and things that like tea tree and sage and peppermint, even basil. So So I ended up first thinking, well, I want to be able to create products that you would be able to relate to, because you know what the oils are and you know what they are on the label. So when you see the label, you know what you're looking at. And Gypsy, because, well, it sort of went better than witch, because witches concoct up in their cauldron all their mixtures and everything like that. But I think Gypsy was probably a little bit more appropriate. But that's sort of what it's like. It's sort of getting together all your natural things together and concocting up a solution for whatever problem that sort of comes your way, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've had a real, obviously you light up when you talk about it. So you've obviously had a real passion for this sort of thing right from a fairly early age.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Yeah.
It's I'm passing the ball on to my mum for that one, because when I was younger, she used to for Christmases and birthdays, she'd buy me things like crystal healing sets and aromatherapy kits and soap making sets, and I was always out in the garden picking flowers and catching lady beetles and things like that. So it's just only been later in life that I've been able to do this, because back in school, in high school, when you went to go and choose where to go for uni, natural medicine wasn't really a thing.
No.
It wasn't really around. So it's taken me this long to get as far as I am now, because there was nothing around back then. I think the closest thing there was a nutritionist or a dietitian. But there wasn't really herbalists and naturopaths and things like that back in school. So, yeah. So that's evolving.
So she's instilled a great love for the nature and everything natural, and you've sort of like translated that into what you're doing now.
And also my grandfather.
Yeah, go on.
Because my grandfather, he was Indian. And, my grandfather was Indian, and he used to love making curries from scratch, and he had a lot of herbs in his garden. And he'd take me out, I'd be about 10 or 12, and he'd take me out into the garden, and he'd show me the different plants, and he'd say, okay, now look at the leaf. And I'd look at the leaf.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary.
Great to see you, Mary.
He'd say, okay, look at this, and I'd look at it. He said, now touch it. He goes, smell it. So crush it and smell it and taste it. And he said, now this is such and such. So this is basil or this is peppermint. So he'd actually go through with me everything, especially when making curries, and using bay leaf was excellent as well. So that was really good to be able to have that hands-on with him, and he loved making his curries. So that was excellent. I loved that.
Wow, that would have been. So do you do that now? Do you make curries and that sort of thing now?
I do when I have the time. I get my mortar and pestle out, and I crush everything up.
We're going to C's for lunch.
Oh no, I'm smelling it now.
Awesome stuff, though. That actually sounds like it was like some really special memories there that have taught you quite a bit. So
yeah.
So with your company, and we know you, like I said, you get the products from that Lady Hills with the olive oil. With the rest of the products, what sort of do you still? I know you're saying offline you do some try to keep it as local or as in Australia as much as you can. So what about the other ingredients that you use that go into making up the final product?
Okay. So you mentioned before about an aqueous solution, and you wanted to just double check about that. So
my pronunciation was off.
No, that's okay.
Aqueous solution.
Yeah, or some people say aqueous. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends what part of the world you're from. But basically, it's a high water content because your body is about 75% water. So I use a higher water content in the products, so it absorbs into your body better. So obviously water is the biggest ingredient. With your other essential oils, they come from over in Sydney, and so New South Wales, Victoria is where I get the other essential oils from. I also get some lavender from the Lindock Lavender Farm, and yeah, so that's also local. Obviously, the olive oil comes from Adelaide Hills. When I get my packaging, I actually source the packaging from here in Australia as well. I don't source it from overseas. So I'm trying to keep everything here in Australia as much as I can. So that can make the cost go up a little bit, but at least we can quality control when we're here in Australia.
Yeah, yeah. So did you go from being, you know, like how did you go from being in the kitchen to going to a more of a manufacturing concern? Is that
I'm in the process.
Oh, you're in the process.
I'm actually in the process of expanding. So all I can say is with a lot of difficulty. It's definitely, there's a lot more red tape that you have to cross, lots of different types of insurance, and then you've got the commercial thing, everything coming into it as well. You've got to abide by good manufacturing practice. So there are certain products at the moment I'm still classified as beauty, even though I'm health focused, because I can't legally make any claims on my products unless I get certification from the TGA, which is the Therapeutics Goods Administration, and that's a very costly and lengthy process, which I'm also in the process of. Yeah, so I won't say anything heals, like my products won't heal anything, even if that's the result you get. I can't do that.
And that's actually, I think it's, I think even ones that are, that have been through that process aren't sort of, I've never actually seen the ones that actually outright claim that they can. I think there's always some sort of caveat, because there's always, you know, there's a percentage of the population that, you know, that it may not work for, but most, you know, regardless of what it is. But but it really is interesting. If you're here, I'd love for you to shout out like Mary has, and just say hi to C, just and myself. Just let us know that you're here. We've got some people watching. Don't lurk, jump in. If you've got any questions for C, please ask. And please share, because she's got some really good information. We're going to have a chat next about those strange skin conditions, because because I think there's some things that C can share with us that might help you if you have one of those strange skin conditions. So so jump in, guys. If you're watching, tell us where you're from, just say hi like Mary has. And yes, if you have questions, please ask. So what about those strange skin conditions, C?
Okay, so you do have a range of different things. One strange odd one, funnily enough, is something called pityriasis rosea. So no, I wasn't swearing at you. That's what it's called. And it's a strange condition that comes up on a range of different people. It's not an overly popular thing, but people will all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it usually happens in your mid-20s, you'll get these little spots come up on your body, and the little red spots they almost look like chicken pox, but they're dry. They're a dry red spot. And that's really interesting. A lot of the time, doctors don't know how to treat it. So once again, the steroid treatments come out, but they do tend to clear up on their own in about 6 to 8 weeks. But
Michelle's here too.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you. But I do actually have a product that I've found clears it up in about 2 weeks. So so that's really good. So that's what around that TGA listing that I was talking about that I need to go through that whole process with.
So what was the name of the condition?
It's called pityriasis rosea. So Do you want me to type it in here?
Yeah, type it in, because my son has got a skin condition where it's only on his arms and only on the top of his arms. I didn't bring you onto the show for any diagnosis.
Sorry, I can't. Hi, Fiona. I can't actually. Yeah, I can't actually.
How you doing? Yeah, I know, but I could just say that if you've heard of it, and if there's something that maybe we could try, it doesn't bother him at all. But they're like little pimples with nothing in them. They're tiny little dots, and they're just like if you rub your hand on his arm, it's just like it's almost like sandpaper. It's quite rough. But it's not itchy. It doesn't bother him. It doesn't,
It almost resembles chicken skin, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the chicken dimples. Yeah. That's a type of keratosis, as far as I'm aware. That's really common, especially on the shoulders and under the arms as well. Generally, exfoliation is the biggest thing that they tend to recommend that for. So keeping it regularly exfoliated. Patchouli oil is also good for it. So, and it just so happens I have a product that is an exfoliant that has patchouli oil. So, it's basically like a keratin build-up in the skin, because your skin is made up of keratin and elastin and a whole heap of other different things. And keratin can get built up. And the one thing that they do tend to say and to do, this is from dermatologists, they do tend to recommend exfoliation.
Okay, well that was something I had no idea. And I'm just going to pop. What you've done is you've written it in the. I would never ever have gotten that. Hit it right. Yeah, so you've actually written it in the team chat. So I've just popped it over here now and popped it up there. So okay, and the other one.
Keratosis is obviously I can't. I'm not the type of person to diagnose this kind of thing. It's always best to go to a dermatologist just to get it double checked. But if you want to try out things in the meantime, things like that, the product that I was talking about, June, is not going to harm it. It's olive oil, Himalayan rock salt, and patchouli oil ultimately. So unless you've got any aversions or allergies, it's completely fine.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it's something that we could try, because it's not one of those things that's bothering him enough to go and see a dermatologist about. It's just
it's just annoying.
Might when he starts getting girlfriends, because he's 15, when he's I want to have baby smooth skin or something like that.
What else? So Garden Gypsy, we do tend to focus a lot on not just skin conditions, but things like cracked, split fingers, which can get painful, that can bleed, that can get it's just painful. I know a lot of nurses and chefs and people like that who are constantly washing their hands that will get cracks and split in their fingers. Even men that are doing contract work and doing all the heavy type of work, they get crack, split fingers. And you know what? It is completely fine for a man to use a moisturizer if he's got painful cracked fingers. Like, he does not have to toughen it up. He can do something about it. So there's a product for that as well. Is that
the first one that you did for your mum? Is that based on that first one?
Yeah, that's the one that I did for my mum. She's always got her hands in water. She's always doing stuff.
Is that like your signature product?
That's one of them. Another one is called, actually, I'll show you what Stafford looks like, if that's okay. Okay.
Yes, for sure. Does that work on cracked heels as well?
It's not heavy enough for cracked heels. You can use it, but it's not heavy enough. So you do need to use something heavier. But my signature one, I love this one, is Phoenix Flame. So Phoenix Flame is super simple, but it's for sunburn, kitchen burns, insect bite, hot itching rashes. So it's really well used. It's got peppermint oil in it, which is the one thing that does keep the heat away, but is the best thing you'll ever use this summer for your sunburn and for the insect bite.
And can you use it on all ages?
Yeah, all ages. You just got to be careful on the face because peppermint oil is quite volatile oil and it is a fairly strong product. So just be very careful when you're applying it to your face first because it'll make your eyes water up.
So if you would you use any of your products on your daughter?
I have. I already have.
Your daughter is 7.5 months old.
Yes.
Scarlett.
Yes.
Beautiful name. And so I guess, so you've used products on your daughter so they're safe for kids, they're safe for children. Yeah,
I was using some products on her when she was 5 days old. And she's completely fine because she was she was overdue in the oven, so to speak.
Okay. Overcooked,
she was overcooked. So when she came out, she was very dry and wrinkly. And so I had to keep her moisturised because she had quite horrible cracks in her skin from it being so dry because she was overdue. And so I used thistle leaf on her, which is a cream that you can use on any age. That's this one here. And it's good for itching skin, allergic reactions and rashes, and that's very, very safe for kids of all ages. But I did need something heavier, so I used another one, which is an oil and aloe vera serum, and that was used for her cradle cap.
Okay.
So so there are a couple that are completely fine for young babies and children. Others you've got to be a little bit more careful of.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do, because we're sort of down to the wire, this half has just flown. It's gone so fast. I know. I'm thinking, well, maybe I should do a show for an hour, and then it could go 2 hours, 3 hours, and where does it stop? So what I'd like to do is just get you to share, before we go, how people can contact you, and if you've got maybe something special for people who are here with us.
Yep. Okay. So basically, for the first 20 people or so who decide to tune in, anyone, if you've got a product that you want to try, I will be quite happy to post out some free samples to you, whatever choice that you want. So.
Fiona's wanting to know, where do we get this stuff?
Thanks for asking, Fee.
And Gordana is saying hi to Gordana.
Hi, Gordana.
She's saying fantastic, good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Fiona. So there's a place called Time for Health, and Time is spelt like the herb, Thyme. I'll put this in here. For health. Time for Health in Elizabeth, which is on Phillip Highway. There's a lady in there who's a naturopath as well. She does Chinese medicine, so she can help you with a few other things as well in there. And then there's another place called In Essence. I'm just typing this for you. In Essence Therapies in Tanunda. And the gentleman there is named Ben, and he does massage and Reiki. And it's actually In Essence together, so no space between In Essence.
I'll just copy and paste that one.
Yeah.
Go.
And he's got the full range as well. So they're the two places you can get it, as well as obviously online. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on email, phone, through the website, but Facebook page is always the best. And if you send me an inbox message on Facebook of whatever free samples you want, okay, no worries, Gordana, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
just send me a Facebook message if you've got Facebook. and I'll be quite happy to post something out to you. Yeah.
And just as a matter of interest, if you look above the broadcast, just up here, you'll see a link right at the bottom of the post, that's in the body of the post, that says how to contact, and it's that offer for the first 20 people to message C in her inbox on her business page. And that's Gypsy, Garden Gypsy. The link is there, will take you straight to her page, and you can send her a message and just say that you are claiming your free sample, and she'll take it from there. So there we go. Fiona is saying thanks, C.
No worries at all, Fiona.
Awesome talking to you. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, and I do look forward. We have actually made plans to catch up IRL, like in real life, and we haven't quite got there, but we will. This is a great step. When we actually catch up, we'll be like old mates, so like we've known each other forever. Michelle was saying she has a slightly persistent rash for 10 plus years on her leg, so she'll PM you. So
no worries. Brilliant. Thanks, Michelle. I'll check that out for you.
Yep. So use the link above, Garden Gypsy. It's hyperlinked above the broadcast in the post there. Is that your daughter? No. Oh, we got
no. Yes. All right. Just so you can see this. This is the that's what the
cover image.
Yeah, the logo sort of looks like. So in case you get a little bit lost, because I think there's a few things named Garden Gypsy on out there on the web, this is what you're looking for.
Just need to click the link. Just go to the link straight up there. Easy. No worries. Thank you so much, C.
Thanks,
will just drop you out of the broadcast, and I'll just hang in there for a minute. I'll get back to you. So
see you, everyone.
Bye. And thank you all for joining us for My Time TV, Community TV with Adaire. We are live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. You are welcome to join me here on mytimetv.live. If you do feel that you would like to come on and have a chat with me, I really am encouraging people who feel they have something to add of value to their local communities and that's going to enhance people's lives. You're more than welcome to pop a message through and just let me know that you'd like the interview application form for mytimetv.live. Gordon is saying, thanks, guys. Great to see you all here. Thanks for joining, and thanks for your comments, and thanks for all participating. It's what makes live TV what it is having people just jump in rather than just sort of look from a distance. Really good stuff. Thank you, C, and thank you, everybody. I'll see you next Wednesday, 2 p.m. at mytimetv.live for Community TV with Adaire. Bye for now. Everybody.